obviously I'm going to introduce him, but I also want to tell you on a personal note, I have known Kevin since the day he was born. And I've known his family even longer. And I could not be more proud of Kevin Siltamo. Here he is now with his Honors Language Arts and Social Studies teacher at HSU.
Alongside my student, alongside my friend, Kevin. I first met Kevin last school year when he was in my 6th grade math class. Many days were a struggle for me, many days were a struggle for Kevin. He just seemed unwilling to go along with the classroom procedure, and I wondered if he was even learning any math. By the time June rolled around, I was perplexed, exhausted, and grateful the school year was over. Then came September, and I found out that Kevin and I would once again be together, this time for 2 blocks, 2 classroom periods for Honors Language Arts and Social Studies. For Kevin's sake and my own, I knew I had to do things differently. I just wasn't sure what differently meant. I read several articles about Asperger's, and Kevin recommended that I read the book Freak Speaks and Asperger's Syndrome, which I did. I began to understand some of the problems that had occurred the year before, and found out that it wasn't that Kevin was unwilling to go along with my classroom procedures. I'd actually set up an environment in which he wasn't going to be able to succeed. And now I had new information, so this year was going to be different. I made some rather simple adjustments, which created a better learning environment for everybody, and in turn allowed Kevin to become more successful. As you saw in the video, I gave him a chance to sit by himself, kind of facing the whiteboard. This allows him the opportunity to work with groups when he feels ready, he feels safe. But on days when he's not comfortable, he can sit by himself, and we know that's going to work for him. Also sitting right up front helps him keep from being distracted and making the false assumption that maybe kids in the class are talking about him. Secondly, I meet with Kevin the last 5 to 10 minutes of lunch, just prior to the start of our class. We go over the agenda for the day, what type of learning is going to take place, what are the activities we're going to be doing. This helps him prepare mentally and emotionally for the upcoming 2 periods. He has a chance to write down the homework, ask some questions, and kind of get comfortable before the room fills up with 30 other students and becomes very busy. Although these adjustments have worked well for both of us, I believe the greatest change I made was choosing to have a relationship with Kevin. I gave him extra time to talk about the books that he's reading, to talk more about the kind of things we're talking about in social studies, to just tell me what's on his mind. When he does have a bad day, there are going to be appropriate consequences. But he knows that I like him, and we can start fresh the new day with no carryover from the day before. A highlight of my year with Kevin was after the spent at the local bookstore. We looked at lots of books, we went to lunch, and we talked about books. Kevin has tried to explain to me what it's like to have Asperger's. And the more I listened, really listened, the more I began to understand. So let me explain it to you in a way that is similar to what I explained to Kevin's classmates after he had had an especially difficult day. I want you guys to imagine for a moment your worst day. Your workload is enormous. You spill coffee down the front of your clean shirt just before going into that all-important meeting. The school calls to say your child is sick, and you should have picked him up 5 minutes ago. And then you're dashing out the door to your car when you're confronted by an irate client. Imagine your emotions, your feelings at that moment. That's a glimpse of what it's like for Kevin on a daily basis. And knowing that helped me understand a little bit what I could be doing with Kevin. And it made me want to make some changes. And it's that kind of connection that teachers in this district have. They are willing to do whatever is necessary to reach every child in their classroom. It is a goal of the Bellevue School District to provide a rich, empowering education for all students. And Superintendent Mike Riley has said that students respond to a challenge as long The expectations, both behaviorally and academically for Kevin, as for all students, has been set very high. And yet, given my kind of support, Kevin has met the challenge and experienced many successes this year. Kevin was recognized as a Student of the Month, which was a well-deserved honor. He wrote a very thought-provoking essay on the meaning of life, which was submitted to a national competition. He scored 100% on his 7th grade cultural fair project. And in addition, Kevin wrote a very touching letter to author Robin Graham after we read his book, Dust. And Kevin closed his letter with these words: "I learned so much from you. I learned that without a goal in life, there is little chance of success." Together, we are working to give all the students in this district the education, the challenge, and support, which will enable them to reach their goals and beyond. And in closing, I would like to thank Kevin for the opportunity. The opportunity he's given me to become a better teacher.
Hi, I'm Kevin. As Mrs. Cheshire just explained to you, I have Asperger's syndrome. Mostly that means that I can't relate to other teenagers. But then maybe you don't think that's so strange. Actually, I know that I'm different from other kids, but I really don't mind. I don't think of Asperger's syndrome as a disability. I think of it as a gift. I'm proud of my memory, imagination, and reading ability. I've been reading since I was 3 years old. I feel so lucky that the grown-ups in my school, like Mrs. Cheshire, have worked so hard to understand me, and that they let me learn in a way that works best for me. With their help, I feel I can do anything, become anything I want. I've read that people with Asperger's are successful engineers, writers, police officers, college professors, and scientists. Even Albert Einstein had Asperger's. I think he did pretty well, don't you? Since I absolutely love books and read all the time, I think I might be a librarian when I grow up. Thank you, Steve Poole, for narrating my video, and thank you, Bellevue Schools Foundation, for supporting my teachers and me. Thank you.